what the newspapers forgot to publish about Governor Fashola. Fashola claims he spent the sum of 1.5 billion naira of unappropriated funds without approval in demolishing and planting grass at Oshodi. No newspaper reported this. Between January and June 2009, Fashola's chief of staff and PAs spent 290 million naira in sending text messages and making phone calls on their lines. Of course, no newspaper reported this. Please, someone kindly remind us, what did Stella Odua do again? Now, let us introduce Dr. Tunji Olowolafe. He is the owner of Deuce Projects Limited. He is Bola Tinubu and Babatunde Fashola's crony. Most contracts that Fashola awards to himself are done using Deuce Projects Limited. For instance, between January and August 2009, 11 out of 19 contracts in the Lagos State Ministry of Health were awarded to this company. Out of 5.6 billion naira contracts in the Ministry of Health, Olowolafe alone collected 5.1 billion naira worth and was paid 70% upfront in cash. No newspaper or other news media reported this. For a state that earns averagely 360 billion naira annually from taxes, isn't it befuddling that its state-owned university, LASU, cannot boast of a hostel facility? Yet, Governor Fashola had the temerity to increase school fees from 25,000 naira to 250,000 naira. Remember the Bank of Industry BOI building at Lagos Island that partially collapsed in March 2006? On the 21st of September 2008, the building was eventually demolished. Now, guess how much Fashola spent to demolish it? A whooping 1.5 billion naira. Please, be reminded that this amount is just to demolish a building, not to build one. During the Bola Tinubu administration, he awarded the construction of City Hall for 2.3 billion naira. When Fashola later came on board, he increased the contract sum to 5.2 billion naira. This project was increased by 126%. The only input he eventually made to the City Hall was to change the floor tiles to marble tiles. The news media conveniently missed this news item. The SSA media to Fashola spends approximately 200 million naira quarterly on press coverage and on news media editors. In other words, it is from this money that news media editors are paid to gag them from reporting anything unsavory about Fashola or his administration. Now, you know why no news media outlet broadcast or publish anything negative about Fashola and his administration. Fashola built a bridge to connect Lekki to Ikoyi. The Lekki-Ikoyi bridge is described as a suspended bridge. The bridge cost the state a staggering 38 billion naira. The House of Assembly's verification exercise rated the bridge as being not worth more than 7 billion naira. Whatever happened to 31 billion naira is best left to the imagination of the taxpayers. No newspaper has reported this. Still on the Lekki-Ikoyi bridge, the Lekki-Ikoyi suspended bridge is a 1.8-kilometer bridge. It is built on low-tide, shallow waters. It was built at an incredible cost of 38 billion naira. That is over $250 million for a 1.8-kilometer bridge. Mathematically, that translates to about 18 million naira per meter length, over $120,000 per length. In other words, 420,200 naira per inch. Between January and June 2009. Now, guess how much Fashola claimed he has used to fill the fleet of vehicles attached to his office alone? Please, brace yourself for the figure. 135 million naira. This amounts to about 800,000 naira per day. Interestingly, this was at a time that petrol was sold at 65 naira per litre. Fashola's godfather, Bola Tinubu, converted all the plots of land where Lagos Polytechnic was located at Ikosi, near the old toll gate. He chased away the Polytechnic in 2006 and went ahead to allocate the choice plots to himself. The headquarters of Television Continental TVC and Radio Continental, which is owned by him, is currently located there. As to be expected, Television Continental TVC and Radio Continental did not report this. Bola Tinubu, while in office, allocated to himself the former Strabag yard that is located beside the Lagos State Secretariat at Alausa Ikeja. The land has now been developed to bear one of his investments, the Ikeja Shopping Mall, Ikeja ShopRite. No newspaper would report this. Lagos State generates an internally generated revenue IGR of an average of 25 billion naira to 30 billion naira monthly. The company that is contracted to collect IGR is Alpha Beta Consultants ABC, a company owned by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The company collects 10% commission of taxes collected in Lagos. This amounts to between 2.5 billion naira to 3 billion naira monthly. No newspaper has ever written a report or editorial about this. Fashola's administration spent 1 billion naira on fireworks during the New Year crossover night. No newspaper reported this. Bola Tinubu appropriated to himself a choice public property situated along the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. It was on this land that he builds and part owns the multi-billion naira Oriental hotels at the Admiralty Circle, Morocco. Media houses conveniently turn the blind eye to this news item. However, this is the clearest indication of the betrayal of trust by Governor Fashola. This is against the oath of office he swore to. It is a violation of sections 14 subsection 4, Section 15 subsection 5, Section 17 subsection 2A of the 1999 Constitution, on which social objective of a just, free and equitable social order is founded. In 2009, Fashola claimed to have bought 2 helicopters for an unbelievable 5 billion naira. It was purchased without a transparent bidding process. Before public attention was brought to this grand heist by the Fashola administration, the seal of the Lagos State government was on it. The fraudulent purported acquisition of 2 Bell 412 EP series helicopters from a Canadian firm constitute a flagrant violation of Section 12, Section 123, subsection 1 and 2, and Section 120, subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution. There is hardly any agency in the state today that the Fashola family or Anima Shaun family does not prominently feature. This is aside from the in-laws and many relatives of the governor who returned from the United Kingdom to populate most of Lagos state agencies. No newspaper would ever report this.